A delicate balance has existed for millennia. A balance between some of the rarest animals on the planet and us. But in our world's wildest corners, we are tipping the scales. As habitats are lost, humans and wildlife are increasingly coming into contact, often with devastating consequences. In their bid for survival, elephants eat crops, leopards prey on livestock, and tigers prowl near villages. These encounters are fraught with tension as we vie for the same shrinking resources. But hope is not lost. We do know the solutions. The Terai Tiger Project essentially works towards resolving human-wildlife conflict pertaining to tigers and leopards in northern India, using a very participatory approach where we put local people who experience the conflict at the heart of the project, trying to resolve it themselves. They are the reason why these species still thrive to this day. And to ensure that they continue thriving, we need to get people on board. One of our fantastic primary response team members, Chetan, for example, he's always out there trying to help people, trying to help wildlife. So people like him are absolutely vital on the ground.
चेतन भगवान नाम है मेरा। मुझे वाइल्ड लाइफ में थोड़ा ज़्यादा प्यार है और उसको सेफ रखना, उसको बचाना। और वैसे तो उसे मतलब राष्ट्रीय पशु है, नेशनल एनिमल है, तो उसकी तो फिर जिम्मेदारी बनती है। बाघ है, उसकी मॉनिटरिंग करना, उसकी रेस्क्यू करना, टीम के साथ कैमरा ट्रैप करना, लोगों की टीम के साथ में लोगों को जागरूक करना। तो जितना बचाव के हमारा योगदान दे दूँगा मतलब मेरे लिए कमी है।
Before we started the project, we've had a string of adverse interactions between tigers especially and local communities, where tigers were out in the open outside the forest and people were basically surrounding them, getting attacked, getting killed, and in return tigers were getting killed themselves. Numerous tigers were getting killed either by people just battering them with sticks or simply poisoning them or shooting them. It was also creating a larger animosity towards protected area management, which is so vital to protect tigers and other wildlife species in that landscape. And that was leading to a significant decline in the source population.
We have been working in this landscape since 2009, very closely with the Uttar Pradesh Forest Department and supported by the US Fish and Wildlife Services and Chester's. One of the major things that we do through this project is to respond quickly to any conflict situation that arises through our rapid response team comprising of biologists, sociologists and a veterinary doctor, and about 80 primary response team members spread across about 57 villages across the landscape who manage the conflict situations, supporting the forest department staff on the ground.
नवंबर माह की बात है, अपने मैं अमरिया का पहला पीआरटी था, उसके बाद मैंने 4 पीआरटी और बनाए। मैं सुबह 5:30 बजे 6 बजे से पहले मॉनिटरिंग में जाता हूँ, क्योंकि 8 बजे के बाद में रास्ते चालू होते हैं, फिर दूरी में रास्ते में कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है। जहाँ माँ के साथ बच्चे हैं या मीटिंग पीड़न की स्थिति है या उसने कोई शिकार मारा है या फिर रिसेंट में कोई आदमी की घटना हुई है, उसके बाद उसकी मॉनिटरिंग गर्मी हो जाती है। वो थोड़ी मॉनिटरिंग जो है बच्चे दौर है कि क्या हो रहा है, क्या होना चाहिए, वो जानकारी लेते रहना बहुत ज़रूरी है। रेस्क्यू के समय भीड़ को बिल्कुल शांत रखना, अगर बड़ी से बड़ी घटना जो है वो जागरूकता अभियान के तहत हट जाती है।
The biggest challenge in the project has been the act of bringing people on board, because as I said, it's easier said than done. People are governed by their socio-political regimes, their cultures, and a variety of socio-economic situations.
We conduct meetings with the local people, trying to interact with them and help them understand some of the do's and don'ts and best practices regarding daily habits and agricultural practices, such that they become less vulnerable to an interaction with big cats in the area. We are also focusing on proactive measures going ahead, such as providing better protection to the vulnerable houses in the villages, and also bringing in more technology-driven tools like AI-based camera traps, thermal imaging drones. We also help them access the government schemes that are available to them from the Uttar Pradesh Forest Department side to address conflict situations across the entire landscape.
We are seeing very stark signs of success. 5 years ago, majority of the conflict situations used to be resolved by catching the animal, be it a tiger or a leopard, removing it from there, releasing it in, another place in the wilderness, which often has its own repercussions. Now, almost 50 to 70% of the cases that are reported to the project team are being resolved just by pacifying anger in people, telling them the animal is going to move away, and almost 50 to 70% of these cases are just resolved just by doing that. One thing crucial that the project has done is to change this mindset of animosity towards the wildlife park management and wildlife conservation itself. And I very strongly believe it's on the right track. It makes me feel fantastic. I'm sure it makes the entire team feel fantastic, but we still have miles to go because it's a massive landscape with millions of people living throughout, and it's got a growing population of tigers and leopards. If some of the flagships that protect the forest, the tigers or the leopards or the elephants, if these are gone, the forest wouldn't exist. And that is the reason why people should be keen towards conserving these species. People do coexist, and people have been coexisting, and we've been bolstering this in this project landscape, and it has been working for the last several years and getting better by the day. And therefore it serves as a very glaring example that coexistence is a possibility.